This is Dr. Alan Richards of the Sunnydale Psychiatric Facility, and I am here to talk about patient number 112, the White Rabbit, aka Roger Manson. The Mansons were your average family with no problems whatsoever. Nice people with a good home, and were even friends with the neighbors. Then everything changed the day of the accident. That day, Roger's mother was driving home from work when a truck driver fell asleep at the wheel, totaling her car, breaking her neck and spine. She died on impact, and after that day, things got worse. So much worse. Roger and his sister Alice's father, Robert, began drinking. His wife's death drove him down into a spiral of depression and anger, of which he blamed himself and his children for. Roger had always been afraid of rabbits. That's why his father bought so many and locked him in a room with them whenever his father felt that he stepped out of line. Alice, on the other hand, had it worse. Her father would leave her starving for days on end and beat her when she complained. On her 11th birthday, he almost killed her. Roger stepped in, insulting the man who should have cared for him. Robert beat his son and locked him up. That night, Robert fell asleep, drunk on almost anything he could find, and he forgot about his 13-year-old son, who was locked in there for days. In those days locked up, Roger resorted to eating the rabbits, raw, ripping and tearing at them with his bare hands and teeth. By the time his father remembered about him a week later, all 6 of the rabbits were dead, as was his sister Alice from starvation. After finding out about his sister and having a breakdown from all the pain and suffering in his life, Roger snapped, killing his father with an axe. As the years went on, he perfected his craft as a killer, creating a mask made of burlap and stuffed animals. He even named himself after the things that terrified him as a child, the White Rabbit. Hello, Roger. How have you been?
Since they caught me, bored. There's nothing to do in this shithole but eat and draw. I can't even write to their families anymore.
The families of your victims? Tell me, why is that?
Because I would tell them that I didn't regret it. That when I got out, and I will, that I would bring delightful carnage upon their lives as I cut them to pieces. Tell me, Doctor, have you ever killed before?
I do like hunting. Why do you ask?
You know how it feels, don't you? The sickly, sweet, and salty taste. The feeling you get as life drains away from the things you've killed.
I'm afraid I have no idea as to what you mean. Do you care to elaborate?
Why not? I've got nothing better to do. I'm talking about the thrill, that feeling of happiness you get when you're on the hunt. I know how it feels because I've done it many times myself. But I know there's a killer inside you. We just have to find it.
Now, Roger. I know what you've convinced your other doctors to do, and it will not work on me.
You're a tricky one, aren't you? I guess you know me better than they did. I like you, Doc. I might not kill you.
Roger, that is quite inappropriate for this. We must get back on track. I'll be asking you a few questions, and you will answer them.
Whatever you say, Doc. Whatever you say.
Now then, your mother. Why don't you tell me about her?
If that bitch hadn't died, my sister would still be here, and my father wouldn't have been an abusive drunk.
You blame her?
No, I blame him, the driver of the truck. Sure, it's her fault for dying, but he still had a hand in it. That's why, after I killed my father, I found him and killed his entire family. And then I cut off his ears and ate them right in front of him.
You blame the driver, yet you blame your mother for dying. Why is that?
Daddy always had a temper, but she calmed him, brought him back to reality. When she couldn't, he fell further and further until he made me just as bad as him. Worse even.
After your mother died, were there any good moments?
Only one. The day after the funeral, Dad took me and Alice to get ice cream. He got mint chocolate chip, and Alice got vanilla with caramel. I got chocolate with sprinkles and a cherry on top. That was the last day any of us had a smile on our faces, because the next day, he was kicking me in the stomach until I was puking up blood. I was 12. The bastard did that, and so much more, for an entire year before I killed him.
In your file, it says that you made your mask. Why did you make it?
I figured that everything that was scary to me would be scary to everyone else. And it is. And I've killed up to 50 people in that mask. And I know our city is still afraid, and they always will be, because I'm the thing that's trapped in the corner of everyone's darkest thoughts. I am fear itself, and everyone is mine.
And what is that supposed to mean?
It means that I am gonna kill you, Doc, and there is nothing you can do about it.
How did you get out of your restraints?
I like to talk. You like to listen. How do you think I got out?
Roger, sit down! Security!
Your magic white rabbit has left its writing on the depths and just keep diving down the